This is a doctor in Oregon. This is another one of these Stop the Steal rallies that happened. A doctor in Oregon talking about COVID and the myths surrounding it. So let's give this a listen.
For State Attorney General, and we're going to try and find out what really happened in Oregon on the Oregon votes. You know what I mean? It stinks. Something doesn't seem right. You know what
I can tell you what happened. Trump lost. Of course Trump lost Oregon. Jesus.
I mean, it just doesn't feel right. Sometimes you have a
probably.
No, it doesn't feel right. So anyway, who I'm going to introduce next is a doctor, and he's going to...
I riled up a bunch of incels is what I did. Like, notice what they talk about. How much pussy you get? Yeah, come on, dude. Talk about being gay. These are incels. These are dirty-ass motherfuckers that need a bath. They've never had the time of day from a woman before. Or a man. They might be repressed. Oh, yeah, that was the first video we played tonight. That was great. I do encourage you to go back and watch that. And the video of Rudy Giuliani farting. Yeah, I'm sorry you missed that one. That was great. I think we determined that she was drunk, possibly, but holy shit, like the hair flip. Did you sign an affidavit? It was hilarious. All they ever talk about is their feelings. Everything is about their feelings. So, all right, this doctor in Oregon here.
He's going to spend about 3 or 4 minutes talking about the myths real quick.
I think SNL is back this week. If they don't tackle that, I would be surprised. But also, I didn't see that many people playing the clip. But maybe it's on all the talk shows tonight after it circulated a little bit, because holy shit, that hearing is just off the rails.
COVID, and if we could have the barking dog be quiet so we could hear, that would be awesome. Thank you. Here's the doctor.
Have the barking dog be quiet.
Hello, so glad to see you all here today. My name is Steve Latulitt. I am a practicing physician in Dallas, Oregon right now, 20 minutes down the road. I want to expose what I call coronamania. The COVID virus is from the family Picornaviridae. It's a rapidly...
Over 3,000 people died yesterday from COVID, and that number is just going to keep going up. The next 2 weeks are going to be insane. 3,000 people died. It was like 3,400. Over 3,000 people died yesterday. Also, they're really clinging to the cross. What is up with that? And the crossover between the QAnons and the religious people. I think there's something to that. When you let people believe in nonsense based on faith, especially when it's drilled into them from the time they are children. That's how you get people that believe in stupid shit like QAnon.
Mutating virus, which means that COVID-19 is no more. It has already mutated. Let me share my...
It has mutated.
I am a retired Air Force officer. I flew heavies, I flew fighters, the Phantom, the good old Rhino. I am an ordained minister. I've been to Bible college and to seminary. And
your resume does not impress me, dude.
20 plus years.
Makes me think less of you.
I want you to know that I never shut down during the entire COVID season from the time it was declared to now. I hate to tell you this, it might scare you, but I and my staff, none of us once wore a mask in my clinic. And how
medical malpractice.
Clinic from that? Zero. Absolutely none. I treated approximately 75 cases of COVID. The last last time I saw a COVID case was on February 10th of this past year. I've seen nothing this year. I've seen no flu yet this year, and we have been utterly duped, and I want you to know that this is insanity, and the purpose was only to shut down the American people. This is a threat to your freedom, a threat to our Constitution. I petition all of you, please, take off the mask of shame. It is a mask that is just designed to control you and to shut you down. The virology of COVID, the diameter of coronavirus is 0.13 diameters. The best N95 standard mask filters down to 0.3 microns. The great
Don't apply logic to that.
I'm going to put up a chain link fence to block the mosquitoes. This is utter stupidity. It is nothing more than to control you. COVID is nonsense. The virus is real, yes. It's a common cold virus. It's been with us forever. Please don't be duped. You have an immune system. I treated 75 cases. They were all better in a week. Not one of my patients went to the hospital. Not one of them was admitted for coronavirus.
Thank you.
Do not let them put you into...
That's what the mask is, to stop you from spitting everywhere. Your spittle is how it travels. He's a doctor. He should know better. This is medical malpractice. He should have his license revoked. Because listening to people like that... apparently he is some sort of doctor. I didn't... I just had the video. I didn't have the article that went with it. I'm sorry. He runs some sort of clinic, but it's probably, you know, he's a GP or something like that. Has no clue what he's actually talking about. But listening to people like that is the reason why pastor dies of COVID-19. Weeks after his megachurch reopened for indoor service. Bob Bryant of the Water of Life Community Church in Fontana tested positive for the coronavirus in November. Developed an aggressive pneumonia in both of his lungs. He then suffered a heart attack. Cough on my phone screen and see how many rainbows show up? That doesn't make sense to me, but I mean, probably makes more sense than anything that dude said. In San Bernardino County, okay. That makes sense. But now, this came out today. Obama, Bush, and Clinton, the living presidents other than Trump, will get on-camera COVID-19 vaccine to boost public confidence. I would rather they get on-camera tried at The Hague, but hey, good on them. Because that might actually do wonders for instilling confidence in people. Especially older people, baby boomers. Oh, wait a minute. That's not... I left off a president. Carter is a living president as well. I wonder why he's not going to join them. I wonder if they ask him to. Or maybe he has some sort of condition where he can't take a vaccine. Carter is incredibly old. The three most recent former presidents have said they want to do their part to address the significant problems of vaccine hesitancy in the U.S. Obama told SiriusXM's Joe Madison that he understands why the African American community in particular would be wary of getting a jab, pointing to the long history of exploitation by medical establishments. Correct. It's a deep state agenda. You make a good point. But as nothing is going to instill confidence in any kind of anti-vaxxer, but there probably are some dumbass baby boomers who are like, oh, Clinton and Bush did it, so it's safe. So good on them, even if it's marginal, even if it's only 1% of the population that listens to them, good on them. Now, a man who has presidential aspirations gave a press conference today, and he had a little prop with him. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Maybe it's a Christmas present. Who would I give a Christmas present to at this point?
He thinks he's funny.
That's not us. This is a box of vaccines. Pfizer, which is a great New York company, made the vaccine. Pfizer developed the vaccine without any assistance.
Now, tentatively, I've scheduled a guest for tomorrow night. And it's a friend of mine who participated in the vaccine trials. Hopefully she can make it. I want to talk to her about the controversy surrounding people that got the placebo in the trials and whether or not they can get the vaccine before there's like some kind of 2-year waiting period, supposedly. I don't know much about it, but I'm looking forward to talking to her. Hopefully she'll be here tomorrow night. So tune in for that.
From the federal government. They did it all on their own. And we're very proud to call them a New York company. But the vaccine process is a complicated process. And the distribution is going to take a lot of work and a lot of effort. The package itself comes...
And that's one of the reasons why people have been up in arms about not approving the transition to Biden, because it's going to be the Biden administration rolling out the vaccine.
And a thermal monitor.
Yeah, fuck Andrew Cuomo.
Monitors the temperature of the package.
But you know this motherfucker is eyeballing. If it's not, it's probably not going to be Joe Biden running in 2024.
The vaccine is destroyed.
It'll be Kamala Harris.
Wrapped in dry
That means there's probably going to be
ice.
a competitive primary, and I'm sure this motherfucker is eyeballing that primary.
The package, you have to replace the dry ice, and then you have to replace the dry ice every 5 days. Okay? Under the dry
So this is the Pfizer one that has to be stored at extremely cold temperatures. The Moderna vaccine can actually be transported in not as cold temperatures. They can use refrigerated trucks, and it's much easier to administer.
vials in.
But apparently, I was probably talking over it. Apparently, Pfizer is a New York company and is probably a donor to this motherfucker, if I had to guess.
A vial, by the way, the vial.
He had a lot of slip-ups with the nursing homes early on in the pandemic.
Another great New York company. A vial contains enough for 5 dosages. The vial comes with a...
I almost did the story about the vaccine hackers. There have been attacks on vaccine manufacturers.
Before the...
I think it was the Moderna one that Dolly supported.
One tray...
I almost did the story about like North Korea trying to hack into the vaccine providers.
To 195 vials.
Yeah, we want the Dolly one.
Vial, this is a vial, can do 5...
But if I had to guess,
the package
Pfizer supports this guy.
holds
Gives him
5.
campaign donations.
So roughly 5,000...
This is the kind of scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of shit that goes on in politics that everybody's sick of.
the storage and handling of the box itself is...
That he's using his platform as a governor to promote a specific company
2 times a day
under the guise of public health.
60 to 90 seconds each time, because keeping it the right temperature is very important. So it's either in ultra cold storage or it has dry ice, but then you can only open it twice a day for 60 seconds to 90 seconds each time. When you actually do the vaccine, you take out the vial is frozen. You have to allow the vial to thaw at room temperature for about 30 minutes.
It shouldn't surprise anybody.
Dilute the vial for and let it stand.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
And then you have 6 hours to administer the dosage. Okay? So this is a complicated...
But that would take coordination between the federal government, and we certainly do not have that.
To come back and receive the second dosage about 21 days later. So, the package comes, it either has to be stored in ultra cold storage or the dry ice is replaced.
Interesting.
Dry ice can keep it up to 5,000 dosages, 5 dosages per vial, and then there's a procedure to de-thaw the vial, dilute the dosage, and then administer the
I saw the story. Mobile morgues all over East Tennessee.
Second dosage is 21 days later, and the person is not, the vaccine really isn't effective.
All right, rapid fire on a few stories here. The White House Coronavirus Task Force tells public health officials to bypass state leaders in a dire warning. Warned states this week that COVID-19 risk nationwide is at historic highs, and urged public health officials to appeal to the public directly in the absence of adequate state and local policies, like that in Tennessee, where Governor Bill Lee has completely dropped the ball. I saw where Governor Northrop, whatever the fuck his name is, blackface governor in Virginia, said he was worried because Tennessee's lax restrictions were causing spikes in Southwest Virginia. $14 deaths just today, god damn. The White House Task Force said the U.S. is in a very dangerous place due to the current extremely high COVID-19 baseline and limited hospital capacity. The reports note that there are now more than 180,000 daily cases, 90,000 hospitalizations, up sharply since Memorial Day. And yet, we're not even on the post-Thanksgiving surge yet. We're going to start seeing that next week. This was already the trajectory we were on before Thanksgiving. The task force told public health officials they must alert the state population directly if their state and local leaders do not enact policies that reflect the seriousness of the current situation. We can't do localized lockdowns. The feds have to step in and help people with money. I'm at a loss. We do need lockdowns. We do need mask mandates. But if the Fed isn't going to step in and pay people to stay home, stop evictions and mortgage foreclosures, I don't know what the answer is. People have to fucking earn a living in this capitalist hellscape we're in. So yes, lockdowns are needed desperately. But I mean, even if the coronavirus bill passes, Mitch McConnell said he's not on board with the $900 billion one. He wants them to accept the $500 billion one. There's no checks for anybody. And the $500 billion one doesn't have extended unemployment benefits. Even if they did do a package that has unemployment benefits, people wouldn't even see that money for 3, 4, 5 weeks. State systems that are overwhelmed. The federal government has to step in. And this is the reason why, like, I made the wrong decision in 2016. I should have voted for Hillary. Even though, take out of the equation that my state, there's no way that it would have gone Democrat. I feel bad, one, because the Clinton administration would have been way more competent in dealing with this virus, but also Hillary would have been a much better opponent for us lefties. It looks like the stream is having some trouble. Hopefully I'm back now. Did I get what? Did I get a text? I don't think I got a text. I got no text from the county, and I'm on the I'm on whatever the COVID database is. That's a good thing. I mean, I signed up for the thing that reports data back to the health department. I've got that app on my phone, and I encourage everybody, if you're on this stream, go check your local health department. They probably okay. They've probably got a app that you can sign up for that will send you alerts and also gives your data to the health department. Grim news out of North Dakota. 1 in every 800 North Dakota residents are now dead. And this vital information is behind a paywall on Forbes. God damn. Guess I'm out of my articles. Hospitals. Stretched beyond reasonable limit as the number of COVID-19 patients reaches 100,000 and reported deaths hit an all-time high. Shut up, Gupta. 3,400 yesterday. Now me, even as sexually charged as I am, I'm not going out and having any wild sex parties anymore. But in New Orleans, 41 people test positive for COVID-19 following a swingers convention at a New Orleans hotel. They are not following the CDC guidelines that say to hold off on eating ass right now. I'm laughing, but it's not a laughing matter at all. Especially because the people that are benefiting the most from this right now are large retailers and corporations. While the frontline workers are barely earning any more, even though they're in incredibly dangerous situations. I would assume a weather service is like the infrastructure, the best infrastructure that a state has to be able to get out alerts. So that makes sense that it would come from a weather service number. Hey, Curiouser, I'm with you. I'm very much on the side of freedom. But like, we've got to police the dumb fucks. Your freedom only goes so far until you're able to hurt another person. The freedom for me to swing my arm ends at it being able to hit your nose. And wearing a mask saves lives. We know this. We've got tons of data now. A study came out from Kansas because they had localized mask mandates. The counties where they had the mask mandates saw fewer deaths, fewer cases, drastically fewer cases. And even like one of the things that I didn't know at the start of this was about the viral load. It's how much of the virus you are able to take in determines how sick you get. I didn't know this. I thought it was like one drop of the virus and you've got it. So masks stop you from getting as sick as you would if you do contract the virus. Yeah, what would it be like even without those mandates? Scary. Fucking scary. We are hitting rock bottom. We are a failed state. It is. I'm trying to be responsible. I can't go to fucking concerts right now. Faith No More announced they're going to be at a festival in summer of 2021. I'm like, I was supposed to see Faith No More this year. Mike Patton, one of my favorite artists of all time. All because we can't get dumb fucks. Because we could have been over this. We could have been over the hump. It didn't have to be this way. You see video from like Taiwan. They're going about their lives. They still socially distance. They wear masks.